Well. The welfare trap. I want to approach this delicately and certainly with a caveat of I know that there are people in other countries that might see this as a real privileged whine, and it probably really is. So I apologise in advance. For those of you that don't know, I'm a T12 paraplegic. I was injured 6 years ago. I live in France. We have really great free healthcare here, and they give me a lot of disability benefit, and it's enough to live on. And while it keeps me afloat, I feel like it might be keeping me small. I feel like there's so much untapped potential I have due to being... I know this is going to sound so unrelatable for people, but like financially stable. I just recently moved in with my girlfriend. We live in this lovely apartment, and it's even more affordable than it used to be because my rent is more than halved since moving out of my last place. But I just feel like so much untapped potential is just bursting out of me. I want to be a husband. I want to be a father. I want to be a provider. I want to be someone that my future wife and child will look up to and say, that's my daddy, you know. I'm proud of him because he is, and I don't know what to fill that void with. I don't know what to fill that box with. And there are certain things, it's not so simple, because if I was to think about being financially secure and being a hands-on dad, you know, helping with the housekeeping, the cleaning, all the, you know, being present at home, that would really fill me up, right? I wouldn't feel like such a loser. But at the moment, for the last 6 years, I've been in a very, very privileged position. I know a lot of people would be like, oh, I'd rather not be disabled. Absolutely. There's certain things about being disabled that absolutely suck. But there are certain things about being disabled and living in France which are very beneficial. They have a great system here which takes care of you financially. But is it keeping me stuck? There's a huge part of my identity that I'm struggling with at the moment. For example, before my accident, I was a snowboarder, I was a mountain biker, I was an adventurous guy. I was like Jack the Lad around town, you know, I'd be going around to all the bars. These days, I'm a bit of a homebody. You'll find me scrolling. They see me scrolling. You know, it's not. I feel like a teenage boy. You know, like unemployment doesn't look good on me. The thing is, when I was weighing up whether to get a job this summer, I looked at what I earned in the winter, and I was working 30 hours a week in an office, and I was only earning 400 euros more. And I thought, you know, my logical brain says, well, it's not worth doing that, right? But my emotional brain feels like there's so much that work gives me. Structure, routine, challenges, identity, you know? One of the questions people ask, oh, what do you do? You know, like, that is part of your identity. Oh, I'm a chef. You know, I used to be a chef in a busy kitchen. Oh, I work at this company. I do admin. And, you know, that's quite nice. But, you know, recently I've started saying I'm a magician and I'll show people some magic tricks, but there is a bit of my identity that's missing because I don't have a job. And I guess I'm just hoping there's someone out there that this resonates with. I mean, I know this is such a privileged problem to have. Oh, boo-hoo, you get free money from the government. But it is kind of keeping me stuck. It's the welfare trap, you know, and it's a tough thing to talk about. And I know the obvious thought for a lot of people would be, just get a job, man, you know? It fills you up, go for it. But I recently got some bad news last week. I mean, there is a silver lining, but essentially my old employer, who has employed me for the last 3 winters, has decided not to employ me this winter. And I won't go into the reasons. I was hurt. I really valued that job so much. That was part of my identity. People would say, "Oh, do you still work for that ski transfer company?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I do." You know, and it's a job I really enjoyed. I live in a small town in the French Alps, and there's not that many accessible offices or opportunities here for people like me. And they gave me an opportunity, and I felt like I did really well at that job. It's something I really enjoyed, and it's something that I'm really going to miss. I know that I'm capable of more. I've applied for a job as a croupier. It's like a poker dealer, which would be really cool. I've got the training coming up in September, and I'm very excited about it. Everything's in French, and then you have to work and play the game or deal the game in French as well. And if you're successful in the training, or if I'm successful, they'll give me a contract for a poker tournament like the very week after. And it's in a place called Aix-les-Bains, which is like 2 hours from here. So that's really cool. I'm like really excited about that opportunity. But that also fills me with fear as well, because I fear failure. Oh, what if it goes wrong? You know, like what if the French is just way too much and it just bakes my head and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. But I'm also weirdly afraid of success. I'm like, oh, what if I get to be a croupier and I have to travel around for work, and then all of a sudden I'm like in these high stakes poker tournaments and I'm dealing cards, and there's like a little bit of anxiety that fills me up, even if I think about the best case scenario. So it's confusing, you know. But at the moment, anything would be better than like feeling stuck. So I know that this is a win-win situation, and I know that there's a lot of things like happening for me. I'm not sort of wanting any sympathy, but I just wanted to just explain like what's going on in my life at the moment. I know this might sound like a really, really, really privileged problem to whine about, so I apologise if it does. But it's something that I've been struggling with a lot. A loss of identity, a loss of get up and go. I'm trapped in privilege and security. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm a seed, you know, like a safe seed, but I want to grow. I want to grow into the man I want to be proud of, into the man I know that I can be. I feel like I'm destined to be, or maybe I was destined to be. And I just need to find a new way. And so I don't have all the answers, and I haven't figured it out yet. But I know that staying safe is keeping me alive, but it's not helping me grow. I feel like there's more in me, more to give, more to build, more to become. So here's my question. If you were me, what would you do?